name's Larry Cespedes, for those of you that don't know me. My name Cespedes comes from around Montrose, and our people were over there, and of course Utah Utes were here in Utah. And we were relocated from Colorado over to here after gold was found, and they wanted what we had there, and we were relocated here. My last name means white belly. My great-great-grandpa had a big white birthmark on his tongue, and that was his name. To my knowledge, none of the family have that birthmark on their stomachs. And we, of course, carried that name generation after generation the way we do with names. Today I'm going to be talking about eagle feathers and why we use them for our powwows. Last year I did show demonstrations of powwows. This year is not so much. So it kind of be a replay for you guys. You've probably seen that one last year, right? I think I was over at the museum when we did that. We had Emmeline show up too, who was one of our dancers, and she talked a little bit about her category of things she does. So I'm going to get started with, I seen this story about the eagle, and it's pretty awesome. I like it, so I'm going to share that.
Long ago, the people were living in the land of
You
the
hear it
hills.
okay?
There were many animals in the forest. The lakes were filled with fish of all kinds. The people were strong. There was peace. Life was very good. But there came a particularly hard winter. Snow was deep. All the snow finally melted in June, and the moon would ripen berries. Summer brought much rain, and the lakes and rivers began to fill. The rains kept falling. The people knew that the wet season was past. They waited for the rains to let up, but they didn't. The lakes and rivers filled, overflowed their banks, and the rains kept falling. The waters rose higher and higher, chasing the people out of their lodges. They found higher ground, but the water kept coming. There was no rest from the flood. The people had to keep moving to the hills and ridges. Even the animals fled from the waters. Food became scarce because the hunters couldn't hunt. There was no dry wood for fires. The people were cold. Soon many became ill with coughing sickness. Some grew weak and died because there was no medicine to help them. Then the winds came, angry and vengeful. They whipped the floods into a mean-spirited dark being that sought out the people as they tried to flee, dragging them down into its cold darkness. Within days, all but one of the people were dead. A young woman clung to the rocks of a high hill. She had started climbing with a family, but the wind-driven flood had taken them all. Now she was alone and dizzy with grief, waiting to die. Weakened by hunger and sadness, she fell asleep and slept for several days. The winds which had turned the flood into a frenzy also chased away the rain clouds. The sun bathed the land with its healing, soothing warmth. From the high hill, the young woman could see what the flood had done. It had taken her mother and her father and her brother and sister. She was alone. Her plaintive wail of grief rose
saying, this one here is bigger than the male, and this is the one that I use in the sweat lodge. This is the one I use for blessings, and it's the female. And female came from over at Steamboat Springs, and I have a lot of people who are bringing feathers. I'm kind of the broker, because people know I have feathers, and they come and ask, well, we need this for this. So here at graduation, a lot of them, families had asked me for feathers so they can put them on their tassel for graduation. So I probably about 10 that. But there are 12 feathers that are in the tail feathers of an eagle. These are all goldens. And I should have brought my bonnet, but I have an eagle bonnet, and it has 36 tail feathers that make up the whole headdress. And but these 12 are pretty much what people will see when they have dances. Their fangs are made out of these 12. And so you sort them all out. It's pretty awesome. It's amazing how Creator creates all of us, really, like our bodies and all the animals. These feathers, once you lay them all out in order, how beautiful they are, and you see how these feathers would carry that eagle up so high. We consider the eagle the messenger for the Creator because it's the thing that flies highest, and so it has a sacredness that way. In our ceremonies, that eagle will come sometimes, and you'll hear it in here, and it's pretty cool. This eagle feather comes from South America. Big birds. Yeah. So this would have been. So it's big bird. I have this. This thing that's been in my family for 3 generations. We're medicine people, medicine family. You can see it's going through its paces. You can see that it's older. It's kind of brown, more brown. Lost a lot of its color through the years. But my predecessor was my uncle, and he taught me how to sing and how to dance. And so he carried it. And when he passed, my grandma asked me if I would carry it. And I knew what it meant was to take care of our family and all of the medicine things we need. So I carried it probably about at least 40 years. And because this is so powerful, we use just the plumes of the eagle to take care of the little ones. So a lot of little ones can't handle the power, so we use the plume for the little ones. This was my uncle. He was quite a dancer. He would just float and dance. It was just beautiful to watch. And that was some of his gift. Can you see that back here?
See if it'll let me zoom in. It's not gonna let me zoom in. You can sort of see it. Mhm.
But you didn't see close-ups of all of this, so maybe I'll just walk on back from here on. Did you see these other wings? So as I was saying, the female is bigger than the male, and this is the one that I used, the male in the sweat lodge. And this is one that's been in my family for generations. I'm the third generation to carry it. We use the plume to be able to help the little ones because they can't handle the power in these big ones. When we use them, we ask the Creator to use us as conduit to help whoever we're working with. But my most memorable one was working with Bart the bear, who was General Ben on TV. Yeah. And he had cancer on his forearm. So through friends of friends, they contacted me to see if I could help him. So I went out where he lives was out in Heber, and I went to the house, and the owner said, I don't know how responsive he's going to be because I just brought him back from as I started to come down, I could see in his eyes and just see the pain, and I started to cry. And as I come on down further, I could see the wound, and it kind of, listened, sort of like Alka-Seltzer, kind of fizzy looking. And I could just feel that pain, and I'm crying as I'm coming down. And we finished with here where the heart is, where the spirit is. I finished it, and he turns around and goes back in his den just like he knew. And we couldn't believe it. Is when I'm asked to do something like that, I always ask for help and tell me what I should do. And I had a dream, and I have seen two hands with something in them. And the owner went inside and came back out, and he said, "Stick out your hands." And he said, "This is Bart Spur with the cancer, and this is Bart Spur when he's healthy." So I took the that fur and we stuck it in the fire. Whenever we do ceremonies of any kind, we always have a fire going. The fire is life, just as water is life, and you need them both. And so I burned the disease fur and the good fur. I stuck it in my medicine bundle. And so I always figure I have a big Bart with me whenever I have to do some things. And so that was a powerful, powerful time. These feathers, like the tail feathers I just showed you, this fellow here is going to show you how we make them into the bustles for the powwows.
Thanks for joining me on this episode. I appreciate you taking time to visit my workshop, and today we're talking about this traditional bustle I've been working on. It's not quite done yet, we're about halfway there, but I wanted to take time to show you how I got this far on a bustle and a few tips and tricks there on extending the feathers and putting things together. And one of the things that I really like about this is a new technique I'm working on as far as stringing the bustle together. A lot of bustles will normally have beads in between the feathers to space them out here on this bridle string. You'll notice on this one, I don't have that. And there's a very specific reason for that. I want to share that with you. I think that was one of the things I liked the most about this. For those of us who wear bustles while we're dancing, one of the most difficult things is very simply transportation. Getting that bustle to and from the powwow without ruining the feathers. And one of the things that I did with this was employed a trick I got from a good friend of mine years ago. And I want to share that with you. Because the nice thing about this is I can simply fold it down just like that. Now it's ready to fold down, compact, put that into a case nice and neatly, and transport that safely. You know, as we see on this one, this is just another small bustle of mine. It's an imitation red-tailed hawk feathers I did years ago, but I actually put beads in between those and have it set up so it projects out of the disc in a more old-style fashion. It doesn't lay down flat, it doesn't really transport well without the feathers getting messed up. So this idea where I can fold this down into a nice case, I love that, and I want to share that with you. So if you stay tuned, I'm going to go through the process of how I did each one of these feathers from start to finish, and hopefully have a few other tips for you as well. Okay, I got the bustle put back together, and now I want to walk through all the different steps on what I did for each of the feathers for extending and so forth. for each of the feathers, I cut all the feathers the exact same length. So if I measured that out, mark it, I'm going to bring this up and measure it where I want that to be. Now I did that, keeping all the feathers the same length. And then I adjusted the length of the dowel rod itself in order to get the different lengths of the feathers. By soaking the quill here, you'll see that I'm able to cut that off without getting the quill or be splitting out, because they can be very fragile. We don't want that to split. We'll pull out some of that pith that was on the inside. Set that aside. And extending the feathers, I don't put glue up inside. Instead, what I'm going to do is put the dowel rod in, and if you've seen some of my other videos, I use heat shrink tubing. The heat shrink tubing that put them together works really well. It comes in a variety of styles and sizes. There are some others here. You can get them black, yellow. I don't really care about the color because I'm going to be covering that up later. I take my my dowel rod, put a little bit of a point on that, just put it in the pencil sharpener. For the dowel rod, try to get one that's the same size as the diameter of your feather, so that as you put it in, it's not too large and breaking the quill and cracking it out. And if it's too small, it makes a large drop from the feather to the dowel rod. So try to get one that's about the
So
same
that
size.
would be the
This
first
works well.
one.
And that's something as far as it'll go. I don't need to force it anymore. I'm going to slide that on, just like that. And do the same thing for this one. And again, even after I cut it, I put it back in the water a little bit and make sure that this is soft and malleable, so it's less likely to crack as I'm inserting the dowel rod. Now again, the feathers are the same length, but we'll notice that the dowel rods might not be exactly where I want. That's okay. I'll cut those later to the length that I want. For myself, I generally only cut the length of that no more than half the length of the feather itself. That's personal preference. Do what you like. I don't like to have a lot of dowel rod, small amount of feather. Now, excuse the noise here for a second. Let me make sure this is in position. And use my heat gun. It shrinks right down, gives a nice tight hole. If you wanted to, and you don't mind the expense, you could run your heat shrink tubing the whole length of what you want, and you won't get this extra ridge here where the heat shrink tubing goes back down the dowel rod. Frankly, it's so small, I don't think it's going to be noticeable when you wrap it with some crochet yarn, or you're wrapping with tape, or you're doing like I did on this one, sewing wool over the top. It's not that noticeable. And there we go. Quick and easy dowel rod extensions in place. Just be careful. It's still hot, so be careful in handling that. You'll see it shrinks down nicely. And that gives it did that by taking the length of the shortest feather down the bottom, and then I added half a centimeter to the dowel rod length as I continued up. For those of you not familiar with the metric system, half a centimeter turns out to be about 3/16 of an inch, pretty close. So I would lay these out, measure where I want it to be. Let's say I'm going to measure this one. From the base of the feather, I'm going to come down 10 centimeters. And since I cut the feathers the exact same length, I'm going to come down to 10.5 centimeters on this one, make it just a little bit longer. And I would did the same on all of those. Keep adding those 5 millimeters all the way around so that the feathers at the top, the first ones are a little bit larger, making a nice U shape. A couple different ways you can cut these dowel rods. I'm just going to use a quick coping saw here to score that. Just pull back through and I'll score it well enough as I'm turning the dowel rod around in a circle. So I get back to where I started and I know that I've cut through enough. Doesn't break off easily. I'm going to grab a little sandpaper. I'm going to run the shoestring through here against that, so I don't want that to be too rough. There you go, sand that off. Do my next one. I'm going through this pretty quickly.
Well, it's quite a process to do a whole bustle like that, but back in the day when they didn't have all this modern stuff, what they used was pine pitch for like glue, and then they used a sinew off from the ligaments of the animals, and that was your thread, and so that's how they put the bustles back, or made the bustles back when. So I'm going to show you the different styles of powwow now. And the word powwow came from way back when Native people couldn't do our ceremonies. It was only until 1930s that we were able to do our ceremonies out in the public again. That's pretty pitiful, isn't it? Because it was outlawed. And so everybody had to do things underground. And so I had an elder from Penobscot elder told me that the word powwow came from all of their people used to have to go over to, his name was powwow. They didn't say, it wasn't just like that, but it was sounded like that. And they would go over to his place to have ceremonies, secret ceremonies. And so somebody heard that as a gathering, and so the word powwow came from his name. And so it's come to be known as a gathering or celebration of dancing. And so that word powwow comes from the Penobscot people. So this first one is the ladies' traditional. So when we see the different categories of traditional, this would have been the way it used to be back before all of the powwow craze hit. Back in the late 60s was when powwow really started to take off. And then they start coming in with all of the different kind of dances. And that's probably where the fancy dances come in. Because that's when things started to get into competition. And brings out the best, but it also creates competition. And I don't care for it, but they are good dancers. And the drums themselves are like rock groups. And so the only way you're going to get a good drums is big money. And so just like the rock groups, the bigger the band, bigger the money. And so like over here at our powwow, I was looking at the poster, and our powwow is going to be June the 30th through July the 2nd. And it's free. Everybody's welcome to come experience the powwow. But back what I was saying as far as competition, back in the 60s, before there were casinos, because it's usually the casino tribes that have like $20,000 for the drum and then $10,000 for the dancers, and they break on down from there for first, second, third. But it's big money, so the bigger the money, the better the dancers and all of that sort of thing. What really wrecks it is you'll see people who they have a number and they have to show that number certain times during the powwow. So like Grand Entries, that we'll show you here at the end, they have to show their number, their competition number. And then when they have their category, they have to show that number. But there's some people who just do competition, and so they know when their competition is going to happen tonight, and so they'll roll in and they'll walk around in their civilian clothes until they hear that the competition's coming up, and they pretty much put your outfits together and put it on, go out and compete, and once they're done, just change again and go back to their cities. And so it just really takes away the whole, to me, the whole purpose of the dance. You want, at least I would think you'd want to dance all the way through. And but anyway, to me it really spoils, because all they're there for is the money, and takes away the whole traditional aspect of the dance to me. But it's just me. So the fancy dance are the ones that come in where they're mostly done by young guys, but I've seen senior citizens, senior men and women do fancy dance too, and see those old guys get out there and shake a leg and try to move like the young guys. They're still got the stamina. They start off pretty good at first and moving all over and doing all kinds of things. As the song goes on, you see them kind of slowing down and slowing down. It's just fun to watch. But there's a few that can really kick in. So, again, traditional or how it used to be in each of these others, like the Jingo came from the Ojibwe, the Jingo, and the Jingles have a Spokane place. And that was the original name. And it originated from, there was a girl who had this dream, and in this dream she seen that she had these jingles on, and she would pray for each of those jingles that she put on. So it was kind of a medicine dress, and that's about it for right now. So here's the different categories. Call that the side step or two-step. In each of the categories, they have certain songs they sing for them. You see their movements of their steps are very complicated. My girls dance when I was trying to teach them and show them how my steps should be. And a lady's fancy is you want to be like a butterfly. They're all very colorful. They tell a story about either battles or hunting, so that's why they're crouched down low. Those are fast dancers. So that's what the strangers are supposed to be. So they use one, play them. veteran, you're out there, you're right in front of the procession, and you're standing out there holding your flag probably for a half hour, 45 minutes for everybody to come in. That's when the grand entry ends, once they're all there. So this one takes about a half hour for everybody to get in. I think that's about it.
We do the grand entry every day, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Right.
Twice every day?
Those times. So like it will begin that 30th at 7 in the evening, and it'll start the next day at 1, and then 7 in the evening, and the last day will be at 1 and 7 in the evening. And so depending on if you want to see a certain category, just listen to the announcer. But there are people from all over Indian country, from Canada. There's even some come from South America that share their dances, so they have specials, is what they call it, do exhibitions and show what they do. So come and join us